Hey guys, Marsengan here bringing you Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the free-to-play Halloween card for this year, which is the Angel, Yamcha and Princess Snake. I've just finished getting them fully awakened and link leveled, so they are full level 10 links, so we can check them out. I've not given them any skill orbs because I honestly feel like after having read their kit and then seeing like the kind of situation they're in and the teams that they're on, I'm probably not going to use them again after this showcase. Even their EZA next year, I don't know if that will be enough to save them considering the situation that the game has put them in. Because we talked about the details yesterday, right? It's no big secret. The unit is a Princess Snake and Yamcha. So going by the usual like old joined forces like character kind of rules, they're only on categories that both of those characters would be on. So they're only on Joined Forces and Other World Warriors, which is a huge disappointment, especially considering that last year's Halloween unit, who got an EZA this year that we've done the showcase video for already, Goten and Icarus, they are called Goten and Icarus, and they're on Joined Forces, but they have all of the Goten categories. So why they didn't do this for this unit as well, and put them on Earthbred Fighters, Earthlings, Turtle School. Like there's a bunch of other things that like this unit could have been on because of Yamcha, which would have then given them more teams to be on. But they didn't do that this year with this card for some reason. And that makes this card significantly worse, right? So their leader skill, they are an Other Joined Forces lead. Obviously, it's a free-to-play unit without an EZA, so only 50%. Their super attack is greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn. Supreme damage, medium chance to crit built into their actual super attack effect, which means any additional supers they do then have the higher crit chance. So it will go 30, 60, 90, etc. So really, you don't need to give them any crit in the hidden potential, I don't think. Their basic effects, 2 key attack and defense 200%. They recover HP with like candy orbs, which is not very common, but all the Halloween units have this. When attacking with 12 or more key, they get another 200% attack and defense. Then when there are 4 or more superclass allies on the team, they get another 200% attack and defense and give all allies 30% attack for 3 turns. So multi-turn attack support, which is pretty good. Then when there's another Peppy Gals or Joined Forces ally on the team, they get another 155% attack and defense, a guaranteed additional super, and then guard. And then when HP is 50% or less at the start of the turn, they recover HP. So once only it'll be 55%. Normally they also do 15%. So I guess it's the once only that turn you'll actually be getting 70% HP recovered. Then they normally have 30% damage reduction at HP 50% or less. And one time only they get an extra 30%. So the first time they come onto the turn and you're at 50% or less HP, they'll have 60% damage reduction as well as healing you back to 4 essentially, which is pretty good. I suppose you could be on less than 30%, but yeah, they give you a 70% heal. So overall, like not that crazy. Interesting that they have a Peppy Gals requirement when they're not on Peppy Gals, but fortunately the other one is Joined Forces. So I've put these guys on the team as one of the few other World Warriors that are on that are a Joined Forces card as well. We're running the double Piccolo Pycon leads because he's another World Warriors leader for 200%. He is their only 200% lead. In fact, if we look at their thing, yeah, there's the new hybrid saying like the possessed Gohan and Goten because they lead Joined Forces, but yeah, not really ideal for these guys. So also this team is just not a great team in general. Pycon is not a slot 1 unit, is he? Is he? I can't remember the last time I've used him. No, he gets a lot of buffs as the second attacker of the turn. So even on this first turn, like putting them in slot 1 is not really ideal, but kind of feels like I have to do that because we don't really have a lot of other options. We've got the support from Gogeta here as well, so we'll see what happens. They're going to get supered immediately because of course they are, but we get the dodge. They are built for full dodge. 11.4 million attack, okay. So we don't get the crit, but then we're going to get the guaranteed additional. So this now has a 60% chance to crit. And then if we get the hidden potential, it'll be 90%, right? So we hit the 60%. We do get the hidden potential, so we're up to 13.5. I mean, that's not completely terrible for a free-to-play unit. Like, the biggest problem with them is the categories and everything. Like, I genuinely don't understand. If it was the case, as it had been in the past, where every joined forces unit was just done this exact same way, like they used to be, then, you know, it is what it is, and it just makes these character choices kind of weird and not really function very well. But it's the fact that they made the exception last year when they made the Goten and Icarus. I think one of the arguments people were saying in the comments for the video yesterday, just to try and like any possible reason why Dokkan could have done this and thought that that was okay when the standard is normally set, is that Icarus being a dragon and not like a person, it doesn't count, right? Even though the card is called Goten and Icarus Jr. and they're on joined forces, whereas Princess Snake is obviously an actual person, like humanoid character. But I don't see why that should make a huge difference. It just seems weird when Dokkan does this kind of thing, when all it really ends up doing is being like a negative, like a disservice to the character, right? Because arguably, well, unarguably, the character is just considerably worse by them making that decision. Yet last year they were perfectly happy for the free-to-play character to be a joined forces character, but then also have all of the Goten categories, which then makes that unit actually good. And obviously we've already done the showcase, like their Easy A is actually really, really good. Like, I'm really impressed with the Goten and Icarus Easy A. So even if this unit got an Easy A that was like a similar level of quality next year, it then doesn't change the fact that they're only on 2 categories, unless any new categories get introduced by then that they could then end up being on, I suppose. But yeah, like, I guess other World Warriors could get a new leader skill at some point, but the problem is, like, for them to get a 220 lead in the future, it's going to have to be a joined forces character, because they're only on 2 categories. So that 220 lead, their leader skill is going to have to be a combination of other World Warriors and joined forces. So unless we got like a new version of this card, which is very unlikely considering the 10th anniversary Gogeta is this card but redone as a reversible exchange, like, what are the chances they're going to redo that unit but as a joined forces character again? Probably quite low, right? And when we think about the characters that are on like other World Warriors, and then think about joined forces, like, I mean, it's just, it doesn't feel like this unit is really ever going to be in a particularly good spot. Can't exchange you, so again we're just going to have to like put them in slot 1 and hope that they dodge, which other World Warriors just as a team, even running this event, like, this event isn't super hard. You guys know I like to run this event for like showcasing units and teams, but like, yeah, this team, other World Warriors, is just not a good team. Joined forces isn't particularly great either, but at least we get the dodge. And then, yeah, I mean, in terms of their actual performance, like, so far they've basically dodged every attack. We've got 10 million attack stat, which we then additional into almost a 12, and then the hidden potential goes just over 13 if we do get that. Not bad. And like, there's the crit from the fact the second super was the 60%, so they finish them off. Like, in terms of the card's actual performance, like, for a free-to-play card, not terrible, but yeah, it's just a very, very weirdly designed character, I think, in terms of what the choices that they made when it comes to the categories and everything. I don't get it. Like, if you're going to make a joined forces character this year and you're not going to give them the bigger, like, expanded set of categories, why pick Yamcha and Princess Snake? Like, on the one hand, it's cool that Dokkan does that kind of thing. Like, it is a Dokkan original. Like, can't think of any other game that's got like a Yamcha and Princess Snake combo. But like, why pick that as a combo to make as a card when it means they're then only going to be on other World Warriors and joined forces? Like, I mean, at least they made it an Angel Yamcha. I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense otherwise for him to be on Snake Way, but because if it wasn't Angel Yamcha, they wouldn't even be on other World Warriors. So the card would literally just be on joined forces. So it just does make you wonder why. Because you think about, like, it's a Dokkan original. It's not something that's ever been in the filler of the anime, because Snake Way, I think, was completely filler anyway. But, like, if they were going to do an other World Warriors, like Angel Yamcha, why didn't they just do, like, Angel Yamcha and Tien? and have it be them from like King Kai, like training on King Kai's planet. Because then, as a joined forces card, they would have Earthlings, Earthbred fighters, you know, a couple of these other extra categories, maybe Earth protecting heroes because they die. Well, I guess they didn't. That category is weird because it's like the character has to have succeeded in protecting the Earth, it seems like, whereas they died against like the Saiyans. But like, yeah, it just comes down to a weird question of like, why did they make the choices that they did for the specific like cards doing specific things? Because, yeah, like, if you're going to make an Otherworld Warriors Joined Forces character with an Angel Yamcha, do Yamcha and Tien so that they actually then are on more than 2 categories. Because Princess Snake, it's not like Princess Snake does anything. She's in the animation of the super attack, but she doesn't attack. So, like, her being on the card isn't really providing anything. We didn't dodge the super, so we're probably dead, yeah. Yeah, overall, like, the more I think about the choices that went into this card, the more, like, irritated I get. And it's like, I could restart the showcase, I could jump back in at a later stage, but, like, we've kind of already seen what they can do, right? They don't have any build-up, so their super attack is, like, just over 10 million for the first one, then it goes up to just under 12. If they get the hidden potential, it's just over 13. Like, they have guard, which is nice. Obviously, they're not supposed to be a slot 1 unit, but the Otherworld Warriors team is not particularly good. You know, they get 200% attack and defense when they attack, so that start of turn defense that's just under like 300k, it's like going up to at most 900k, and then they get the raise on their super, so they're probably just over 1 million by the time they've got their supers off, and then they guard, but then that's it. And if you're not on low HP, they don't have the damage reduction or anything. I would say arguably in terms of on release in the meta they've released in and the teams that they can go on, this unit is worse than the Goten and Icarus were last year, like when they released without their EZA, which is just really disappointing because it's always sad to see when Dokkan takes steps backwards like that, because it's not just in the design with the lack of categories, but the fact that, yeah, on release this unit is probably not as good as Goten and Icarus were on release. And then you combine that with the fact that Goten and Icarus just EZA'd and are really, really good, and then these guys just, they're just kind of which is really disappointing. So there you go, that's the Yamcha and Princess Snake. I'm not going to do much more on them. Like I say, probably won't use them again until they get their EZA and we do the EZA showcase, which I imagine will probably be just as, if not more, irritating, because there's probably a large possibility that by the time we get to next year and this unit EZAs, Otherworld Warriors and Joined Forces potentially won't have even got that many buffs. So it will definitely be interesting to see. Like I said, the only thing I could think is if they add another category that these guys could end up being on, but like, what would that be? Because Princess Snake is obviously like a weird, she's not like a, she's an otherworld being. She obviously can transform into a giant dragon, like, so you can't have, I'm trying to think of like, you know, she's not like a divine being, right? So she wouldn't be like a solo Princess Snake wouldn't be on Realm of Gods, right? I don't think. Like, just what category could they add that would have a Yamcha and a Princess Snake like on it? So the future of the card is not great. Even if they get a really good EZA in terms of the actual quality of the card itself, like, yeah, I don't know. So let me know what you guys think. But overall, I think it's a huge fumble, a huge disappointment. Goten and Icarus are great, so I'm not sure why they've taken this big step backwards, but it is what it is. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been The Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.